very excited to be here. Gray Area Foundation for the Arts is a nonprofit. We're dedicated to building social consciousness through digital culture. I'll explain that very briefly in the talk I'm about to give. So let me start this here. Should I use this?
You can use the...
Okay.
This. Yeah. Over there. Here it is.
That's good? Great. So again, thank you for being here for my session. The session is titled Social Arts. Again, thank you Steffi and DLD and everyone for being here, and all of the DLD community for welcoming Gray Area Foundation for the Arts for the second year. So I'm going to talk about social arts, and specifically I'm going to talk about collaborative art and participation. So participation has been an important theme and strategy in art since the 1900s. Only in the past 20 years has the need for social interaction reached the web. We call this Web 2.0, social networks and social media. With the advent of social games and social advertising, artists are continuing to innovate and are able to use the web as more than ever as an expressive medium, but more of a cultural and social interface. So I'm going to introduce Gray Area through a video now. So let's hope this works. My name is Josette Melchor. I'm the Executive Director of Gray Area Foundation for the Arts. Gray Area Foundation for the Arts is a nonprofit organization dedicated to building social consciousness through digital culture. We advance the connections between art, design, sound, and technology. The 7 storefronts that we're going to be taking up were previously used as a porn arcade, as well as a liquor store, as well as a bar. We're going to be changing these spaces into a media art center that is open to all of this community. And that is a statement.
I think the idea for Gray Area came out of conversations that Josette and I were having.
He was hosting an art show in his house, and I said, why isn't anyone showing this type of work? Why haven't I seen this outside of museums? And that's not to say there isn't a digital media show mixed in here or there, but there's not really a dedicated space to display this type of work.
It was out of that realization that we wanted to create Gray Area. And the next thing I know, I was holding on for dear life, and here we are creating an institution.
Something has started to happen here. Things seem to be turning. It's not the city who's gone out and said, hey, Gray Area Gallery, come in here. It's individual efforts of business owners, artists, and property owners that seem to be gelling around the same time.
People are naturally electing to involve themselves, to dedicate their time to this, and there's nothing but good that can come out of that.
Mr. Sumsky, who owns this building, he took it on himself to say, I want to fill my vacant storefronts and improve them, and I want to move the liquor store out of here.
What is happening, it gives the Tenderloin, I think, a future.
I'm Camille, Utterback. I do interactive video installation and other pieces that respond to gesture or people's bodies moving in spaces. Can you hear? Can you hear? Okay.
My name is Koblin. I'm a media artist living in San Francisco. So most of my work deals with data in some form, either more literal representations of like flight paths or infrastructural systems, and some of it's more social data, right? So taking a look at like workers on the internet and getting people engaged in kind of collaborative creative processes.
My name is Massey, and I'm an artist and designer. And my interest in sort of, seeing what's possible to do with code itself and how to create art using code.
This type of work in San Francisco doesn't really have a home, and we're hopefully going to be able to provide that to a lot of artists that have been seeking out a space to present, to have a proper space to present their work. So I'm going to stop there. Like any great startup, we're trying to figure out our model. So we're trying to figure out how do we support digital art. We're figuring it out through inspirations in social media, social games. How do we support digital art through social media? Being in Silicon Valley, we've taken hints from social games, and I'm going to premiere a new work to you today. But I'm first going to tell you a story. I was in the mall in San Francisco. There's actually a really good food court there. And I got into a conversation with this woman. She must have been like 40 or 50. And I started talking to her about what I did. I told her that I run an art and technology center up the street. And she starts telling me, I'm a digital artist. I'm an artist. I should display like everyone does usually. And I say, okay, what do you do? I'm expecting sort of a photoshopped image or something like this. And she shows me her digital art, and I'm shocked. She shows me this Zynga game. She says, I'm a digital interior maker. So can you guys see that slide? There we go. She shows me her digital art. So this is a screenshot she took with her iPhone of a Zynga game called Yeovil. She says, I made interiors. I made these couches, and I used their platform to create my own digital art. I should display it in your gallery. And I said, that's not quite what we show. We bring together sort of creative coders, people creating data visualizations and actually using software to create art. And she was shocked. She said, I'm an artist. I'm using this tool. I spend hours a day on this game. That got me thinking, how can we use this sort of model, this sort of Zynga model that makes $500 million in revenue in 2010 and has reached 100 million users in 43 days through Cityville? How can we use this model to fund digital art? We took inspiration from this game called $1 Million Homepage. It's actually not a game. It was a project about 5 years ago. This young kid wanted to pay off his tuition, and he sold pixels for $1. He actually was able to sell them in 4 months. So we took inspiration from these games, and so I'm going to introduce to you this project that is called Sequence. It was produced in our labs. So here you see a constellation view, and you can go through and you can see that we've raised $15,000 already. You click on one of these creatures, and it's actually a sequence that's been made by someone around the world. So you can click on this, and you can scroll through, and you can see sort of our donors. So this is our sort of virtual donor wall. You can click on, I think you click on one more, and you see that Maximiliano made this, and he contributed as a digital artist to our ecosystem. So it's going to show you how you can create one. So what the artists in our residency have actually made, they've made a platform to create digital art and to fund a nonprofit. So we've used the idea of social games to do this. So this is taking you through the process. You donate as little as $2. This is processing. You'll get an email right after this. So as soon as you go through this, you get your sequence create key. And you're able to start being a digital artist. So you're able to actually use the tool that we've created to actually support and become a digital artist on your own. So this is a 16 by 16 grid sequencer. You're able to control the attack, sustain, decay, and release, the note and the scale. And you sort of make your own musical composition using this tool. So this is going through. So now we've made a composition. And we're going to go ahead and save that composition. We're going to name it. And now we can share it on Facebook and Twitter. And we can tell all of our friends that we've donated to Gray Area Foundation for the Arts. You can visit this website by going to s.gaffta.org. If you talk to me, I can give you a create key, and you can create your own without donating, courtesy of WordPress Foundation. That's it for me. Please come and talk to me about this project. Thank you.